This is the Collier-Seminole State Park. It's on the Tamiami Trail. It's about 11 to 12 miles outside of Naples, Florida. This is where we are set up right now. A little bit of a challenge getting in here. Typical Florida State Park, meaning that it was built many years ago. The sites are gravel and grass. They're about 80% level. And I'm going to give you a little tour here, show you what we've got. When we arrived yesterday and we were parking in the campsite, I guess the last campers had dragged the fire ring all the way up to the edge of the road, had their fire, and then they had tilted the fire ring up on its side, strode the charcoal all over the campsite, and immediately stepping out of the truck, you're walking in charcoal. The dogs are getting dirty immediately. Boy, and there's a couple of tents right up against the bushes, and this being the Everglades, who knows what would come crawling out of those bushes. But I went and told the ranger about that mess, and he apologized. He looked at his list of who just checked out of that site, and then he came down a little later when he got off duty. He came down after that and he raked all that up and cleaned it up, and it was much better. But you just never know what you're going to get when you come into a campsite. You try to leave it better than how you got there, but some folks are just not that considerate. So as you get to the camp loop, there's this building here. It says it's the block house. I've got no idea what this is, but we're going to take a quick look at it and see what it is. It says it's a park for caretaker residents, about 1940. I was doing a little research last night, and they built the Tamiami Trail in the 1920s. This is called the walking dredge. It's what they used back in the 1920s to build the roadbed for the Tamiami Trail. From what I read, that would be 2 10-hour shifts operated by 3 people. And behind this monster, they would drag a floating trailer, which is where they would live. I guess this was all steam powered. And that's back when the technology wasn't all that great. So it was a pretty amazing achievement that they made back then. Just going to walk around this block house a little bit, because I know there's a trail over here. My wife and daughter was out earlier this morning walking the dogs over this way, and they got eat up by bugs. Not just mosquitoes, but some kind of big flies. And these critters right here are all over this park. So for anyone that is skittish over bugs, do not come to the Everglades. Let's walk through this little trail here. I'm going to get you back around to see the rest of the campground here in just a few minutes. But while I'm out, I wanted to show you what I could. And this is a, this is on the edge of the Everglades, so you're not going to expect a 4 or 5 star RV resort. So it's good. It's a good campground. I'm not trying to be too negative on it. I just want you to understand what you might find when you get here. But having the opportunity to camp here, which is pretty much just a 2 nights rest up period before we get down to the Keys, this is a good opportunity for us. Now that I'm looking around here this morning, there's a lot of campsites that are open. And when I made my reservation, I don't think I saw that many that were open. So I don't know. But typical campsites, some gravel down and some grass, a few trees. You've got a picnic table and a fire ring at each site. And we passed that one bathhouse, and this looks like it's a newer bathhouse here. And that's the campground. They do have a boat landing and a place where you can rent some canoes and kayaks and maybe do some fishing. I'll try to get over there and show you that. And we were going to rent a canoe, and this being Monday, the ranger told me that they're not on site during the week, only on the weekend, so I'll have to call the number and they might bring some gear out for me to rent. So we're probably not going to do that. We're just going to be here today, then in the morning we're off to Marathon Key. Going to take the long drive across the Tamiami Trail. So Florida has this program. It's called the Python Pickup Program. So if you are adventurous and you want to look around and pick up some pythons, and it does mention some humane euthanasia procedures. I'm not sure if that's the sharp edge of a shovel or what, but you can get a reward. So that's definitely not on my bucket list. So I'll leave that to the others. So just keep that in mind if you want to participate in that Florida Python Pickup Program. Check their website, or not. Let's wrap this up, at least this phase, and I'll show you what it looks like over at the boat ramp. Here at the boat landing at the state park, they've got canoe and kayak rentals. Might have mentioned that earlier. They have a boat ramp where you can put your own boat in. Some picnic facilities. I think this is, if you were just coming in for day use of the park, that's what you might have. If you ever make it down to the Collier-Seminole State Park right outside of Naples, Florida, I hope you give it a try. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button right now. And until next time, thanks for watching.